Hello everyone, this is Lamin Sane of LSWAT apps, and in this video we're going to continue on from the include and require video that we did previously. In that we're going to have a look at include once and require once. Okay, so just to recap from last time video, we did rename our index our my file to my file 2 just to demonstrate what happens when you try to include and require files that do not exist. But we'll go ahead and just rename this back to my file without the 2. So now this should work. This rename and require and include should work. Okay, so why do you need to use include once and require once? So sometimes you just want to include a file once, but because of how PHP works, there may be cases your application complexity grows and the application is so big that you can't keep track of which files are including what files. So in order to ensure that a file is included only once, you can say include once. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's just copy this code here and just first let's just see what the code does. Include my file, refresh it. Just the included file, which is this file here, my file, just open it. It just echoes inside my file, this string here, or that's all it does. Okay, so let's just try to include that again. Let's say include my file .php. Okay, so what do you expect to happen? It will echo that twice. As you can see, when I refresh, it does inside my file. Okay, but let's say we want to ensure that that's included only once. We can say include once, and when I come here again and actually let's include that. That's just a regular include. So when I say include once, now the second include should not run because it's going to check, has this file been included yet? If the answer is yes, then it is not going to include it. If the answer is no, then it will include it only once. So you can call the include once many times and it will only include it once on if it has already been included. So let's go back in our browser and we refresh. As you can see, the second include did not work. Okay, so that's the use case for include once. So let me just show you what happens when you try to include once a file that does not exist. So let's say my file 2. So let's use the include once here, and let me just comment this out. And the include once should just include it once, but also throw up an error showing that that file does not exist. As you can see, it's throwing up warning saying that the include once failed. So let's try that for require once now and see what happens. Let's rename the file back to my file back in our code. So we say require once. So require once does the same as include once, but if you remember the difference between include and require, one throws up an error and the other doesn't. So we refresh this and that works. So now let's just rename the file here to my file 2. So I'll go back to my browser here. I'll just refresh that. We should get an error saying that that failed. So it's throwing up a warning first, and then the second one is saying an error that failed opening required my file.php. So that's the difference between require and once and include once, guys. If you don't remember what's the difference between require and include, go back and watch my previous video that I did on the two of them. And yeah, so that brings us to the end of this video, and I thank you for watching. I will catch you soon in another video. Cheers, bye bye.